They used to say start from the scratch. There was hardly any scratch, so we had to scratch and then get started. And in that process, there's been a lot of learning, be it through the success or even through the failures, right? But the idea is, are we continuously learning? What are we doing with that knowledge? So here are going to be three little extras, that I would be talking about. And the way we are going to do is three parts. One is a little extra mindset. How do you develop that mindset? It's so required before you start doing. Are you equipped? Are you having that mindset? And just a little extra, right? The second is I'll also share a couple of personal experiences so that it might inspire you, right? And the third is, can we have some actionable insights? So that's going to be the structure that I'm going to be following today. There is a process, as our previous speaker was talking about, how a process could help you catalyze and accelerate your growth and performance. And can you have some fun in the process, right? So I'm going to be leveraging my book. It's by titled A Little Extra, okay? A lot of people think for extraordinary results, you need extraordinary effort. Actually, it's a myth. What you need is just a little extra, okay? And a little extra in consistency, a little extra in your performance, a little extra in your attitude, a little extra in your approach, and many little extras, right? So the three secrets that today I want to share with you all, I'm sure it's going to help you in your business growth, and it has helped many. So I have to introduce, I got introduced. I want to introduce a character here. He's an amazing character. His name is Zoe. And his friends say he's got that X factor in him, and he started figuring out, what is this X factor all about, and where is this coming from? And he realized that it's the attitude of being just a little extra in all aspects of life, And then he also realizes, in fact, that little extra is what is making ordinary extraordinary. And nothing wrong about ordinary. It's just that it is too common, right? So a big disclaimer for all of you that ordinary is not bad. And can you be a little extra? And how do you develop that mindset? And then definitely extraordinary results is just about to follow, right? So that's, and you all can be that little extra. And it's a lifetime sadhana. It's not like, once I did, I achieved, and it's done. So when you really achieve something, like he announced, and whatever success or a milestone, it's just a milestone. So now his own aspirations has grown. As an entrepreneur, he's raising his bar. And his team, everybody raises the game. And that is how we get growth, that business growth, right? So with that, let me see how these little extras can be done. So my very first, can we scroll a bit? Scroll a little bit, if you can. So one of the secret is being successful is ordinary. Being successful is ordinary. Being happy and making others happy is extraordinary, right? Success is never final, right? And success is something which is very subjective. And you are in business so that you get success. But are you happy? If at all you're happy, then there is a high possibility that others are also happy. And in this process, is your stakeholders happy? Your customer happy? Right? Is your employees happy? And your family is happy. So how are you making others happy in the process? Otherwise, there's no meaning for success. That's the little extra. What can you do? And how can you impact? So this little extra, I think, is going to be one of your catalysts. If you take that and make that as your lifestyle and a mantra, then I'm sure it is going to fuel and be a catalyst for a long run and making your journey a reward, right? So this as one of a secret. Let's go to the other one, which is going to be this struggle is ordinary. Struggle is ordinary. Acceptance is extraordinary. I think as business owners, even our Karan was talking about how the struggle phase, the very first phase of these entrepreneurs or the startups or the businesses, and how they struggle. Struggle is there in everybody's life and everybody's business. But if only we understand, and if we get sucked into the struggle, when there is change, there is struggle. Market changes. Suddenly COVID hit. Things changed. Businesses were shut down. Offices were shut. And how do you move forward? Right? Stresses. And Ross model, Kobler-Ross model, struggle, actually it starts with that first is the denial. And then once you start denying, no, this is not going to happen to me, and this shouldn't have happened to me, and those kind. But then it leads to the next phases, which is going to be not so good for you and for your business, right? That could even lead to, the negotiation that, okay, then even depression, and finally, the impact that it does on you and your mind and your health. So people get into depression. Finally, out of desperation, you accept. But there's a smarter way. If you want to leapfrog, if you want to really don't have to go through that cycle, so let me introduce you to a framework, which is change acceptance model, right? Which we created, seen. And what happens when the change happens, and instead of going through that struggle, straight jump into acceptance. Accept the way it is, what it is. And what does it do? Actually gives you the freedom, gives you the power to analyze. Okay? And then what happens with that power to analyze, you start understanding where it is happening, why it is happening, and you get the power to figure out on possibilities, right? So possibilities is all about understanding what opportunity is there, and can you even, that could lead to the next phase, which is innovation, right? And with innovation and that being come to the market and being introduced can be the new baseline, right? It's the way forward. You're setting the new baseline, right? So those are the 5 stages, and starts with acceptance. Let me tell you a story, a little extra story. I run a talk show every Monday at 8 p.m. on Mensa, where I bring extraordinary people and talk about their little extras so that it can inspire. And I saw, as I entered here, I saw several EV companies, and here we have Anant, who is also a part of this, powered by his company, Atiyas, right? How do you pronounce Atiyas? Okay. So they are a multi-brand, he said, EV vehicle, and they've opened up so many showrooms, and they have a large aspiration, and started with that little extra. Their innovation is on the business side of it, right? While somebody else is innovating the EV itself, making of these electric vehicles, and their innovation is how do we create market access to it and create many showrooms where multi-brand EVs are available. That's a little extra. How they are engaging with the customers. Because the world is struggling with respect to the warming which is happening globally, and the amount of rains even in the unseason that we are facing. All of these are the struggles, right? But those who have accepted those struggles, and now they are looking at analyzing that, figuring out possibilities, innovating, and making that as a new normal. So one of these talks with Pankaj Sharma that I was talking to, he's co-founder of a company called Log9 Material. So very interesting journey that they had, and they wanted to bring that values into their innovations. And they figured out there was this very interesting material called graphene. And this graphene material was magical and could do many things. They were innovating. And one such application that they found is use it as a filter for the cigarette butt, so that it's filtering enough, it's lesser impact to people and to even the environment. Then they said we have to do more with this, and then tried something else and it worked. And now, the new thing that they've got a breakthrough, and all of them are young people in their team, 40 of them. And they started looking at how can we use this material called graphene and what can we create. And that's when they figured out how the market of electric vehicles was struggling. Well, people are struggling, and electric vehicles were even getting burnt, and they were finding, why is it happening? What can we do about it? And electric vehicles are required, and these batteries could be dangerous, actually, as much for the environment and so on. And they figured out that these batteries were typically designed by European companies, and it was actually meant for that region, that kind of region and the weather conditions, right? And here in the tropical weather, it is not easy. And they said, how about designing a battery which could be 10 times more lasting and a material which is recyclable? Those are the little extras. And something which will bear the heat of tropical region. So they went ahead and designed a battery.
Thank you so much. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟಾಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಫೀಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅನದರ್ ಒನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟಾಕ್.